everybody. Welcome back once again to another episode of You Haven't Seen That Podcast, or YHST for short. I'm Isaac.
I'm Elva.
And this is a show where we cover movies on a growing list of films that has people asking us the question,
You haven't seen that?
Now, if you're viewing this, that's right, because we do the show live on TikTok at Elva.
YHST. No, wait.
She knows it. She knows it.
So close. Wait, hold on. FREHED Films on Instagram and TikTok.
That spells out Forehead Films.
Yep.
And on there, you can view that we have special guests. This is my sister, this is the second time she's joining us. That's Pearl.
Hello.
And our dear friend, Mel, who is absolutely everybody's crush. And she's wearing stripes, and I was supposed to wear stripes, but it's kind of warm in the studio. But Isaac, I thought you did it at home. We do usually do it at home. If you're just listening to us in the future, we're doing this out of Hype Attack Studio because, more people requires more bells and whistles and everything like that. So welcome once again. What? An actual YHST out of the studio. Welcome, folks. So Pearl, we know about you. You told us about your moving-going habits. So you're gonna pipe down for a little bit because I want to get to know Mel.
That's me. That's me.
You're going to pipe down for a minute.
But we'll circle right back around at the end after we talk Terrifier, and then we get to kind of know like what your horror.
Because we got some horror stories too.
So Mel, any new timer, I usually like to get to know them, especially their movie going habits. So I'm gonna ask you the question, Mel. Are you a movie person? Hard question.
I am, however, with kids and a husband that doesn't really dig on the cinema, I have definitely lessened my movie-going experiences, yeah. But I used to, every weekend, me and my friend Ken, big cinephile. He's the one that got me into directors and, just lighting, cinematography, all like those fine little nuances.
Dude, you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
There's times where I feel like apologetic on either podcast, the Hype Attack or YHST, where I'm like, well, the camera movements are not to get too nerdy. Like, I have to preface it. I'm like, no, it's a fucking movie podcast.
No, it's fantastic.
I love those things.
Yeah. The little things. It's the little things in life that kind of bring that sparkle.
It is. It's and we'll go into that like when we talk Terrifier. What is your comfort movie if you have one?
I like to be uncomfortable. No, I don't. You know what? I don't really. Actually, if the kids aren't around, definitely horror. It's it depends. If I want to laugh, I'll watch a Freddy. If I want to, just be with an old friend, like a warm cup of cocoa on a cold day, I watch Michael.
This is why I had to have you on.
And those are definitely my good. Not really a rom-com chick, even on my period. I don't really.
Same.
Yeah, I don't really dig. I'm not really like a box office kind of gal, which is why, callback, I like listening to y'all's reviews because it kind of steers me in the right direction of whether something's worth checking out or getting a babysitter, and then whether it's just like, I'll just check it out on the old streamer.
I appreciate that. Yeah, a couple other people. So you mentioned that you have a kid. Kids.
Two
kids.
children, yes. One I'm not sure of.
And you love them? Is this the truth?
Questionable, Vince. Yeah, I adore them. I adore them so much. I want to choke them out on a daily basis. Yes.
Wait.
Has any right come up with
Hold on.
Hey, I got the bottom.
So inappropriate. But when you do manage to go see movies, how do you like to enjoy movies the most? I know there's like the restrictions of having kids.
Yeah.
But do you, when you have the ability to, do you like to go see them in theaters, or do you usually just go straight?
I like the full experience. It's almost a ritual. I think Pearl and you guys now are my only movie people that I go with. And so
the last time we saw a movie was The Silent Place?
No, we went to go
Place?
see.
So yeah, Quiet.
We went to dinner before it. What the fuck was that now?
That was that.
Oh, maybe it was.
The second one, because the third one came out and I watched it with Faith.
Yeah. So we go to dinner, we talk about, what we're excited
Wine
about.
it
And, fucking nerds.
Yes,
And then we get the Dolby digital sound.
And we watched the movie and then,
Speaking absolutely my language. Yeah. I know, because a lot of times, like me and Albert, we have like scheduling restrictions, and she's like, oh, so there's this showtime, that showtime, but like the showtime is only in like standard. I go, well, I guess if I have to. Lame. But I love that. Yeah, I very hold on to that. You should experience a movie how it's supposed to be experienced, unless you have like an impressive home theater.
Yeah.
Then you got to see it
Yeah.
in Dolby or fucking IMAX if you can.
40X.
Yeah.
I'll stop at 40X. That's
No less.
no, yeah. No one's ever like,
Papa's
I
got
want you,
standards.
jumping out of your seat watching our movie.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
anything in 40X?
No, but Twister was like everyone was like, oh, you got to see Twister in 40X.
You took the kids. We took the kids to go see, what was it? Spider-Man.
Across the universe, into the universe, beyond the universe.
One of the, I think the second one or whatever. I think and it was 40X.
Sick.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
That's the moving chairs and stuff. I don't remember.
But that
taking
thing
them.
didn't move, but we went to that theater. We saw it because I booked the tickets for it.
Because Ruby said she took the kids to see something, but I'm like,
Because I think it depends on the movie.
Yeah.
Because if it's like Twister or whatever, it also depends
I would
if
throw up.
the people who are distributing the movie want you
No.
to have that full on experience.
Yeah.
But you can just see 40X just for the visual and audio. It doesn't have to be the moving chair.
I told the story on Hype Attack, but you know Mosier,
Yes.
right? He goes, he messaged me, he goes, because he listens to this podcast as well. So, hi, Mosier.
hi.
Hello.
And he goes, yeah, I want to go watch the latest Deadpool Wolverine movie. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were into them. So cool. And he goes, I fell asleep. I go, oh, I'm sorry. He goes, but I got thrown out of my seat. And I go, oh. Like the usher kicked you out. He goes, no, I saw it in 40X and the seat threw me out.
Oh my god!
It's like, you got to strap
Like
yourself.
what part? Like,
You got to strap yourself in and get ready for the ride.
I'd have to setting that if you fall asleep, it just pushes you off.
And last but not least, to get to know you, what movie jumps to the top of your brain as far as a movie wherein somebody asks you the question, they're surprised to know that you haven't seen that?
Oh God, I don't think there's anything else. You know what? I lied. Probably like the newer era of DC and Marvels. I don't.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't get out. I still haven't seen Wolverine and Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
Not mad because we talked about that you have a kid, 2 kids. You like them?
Two
What was
kids.
that again? You enjoy them, right? Like, I'm not entirely, not completely disappointed or mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad actually. I'm just disappointed.
I'm very. Oh man, childhood trauma all over again.
But like, because like we have a list of like 170 something movies.
Yeah.
And that's why we started this podcast. Like, it took us a while to finally get around to watching The Godfathers 1 and 2. We don't talk about the third one. Just stuff like that. And having Pearl on for Princess and the Bride. Is there no like contemporary movie? Or not contemporary movie, excuse me. Is there no like older movie that like you should see, or you that so much?
Oh, Boondock Saints. I get that a lot. You've never seen Boondock Saints? Yeah, I've never seen Boondock
Well,
Saints.
guess what? We're writing you down on the list. Since you're going to join us once again, we're going to fucking cover
Yeah, 'cause I
Boondock
haven't
Saints.
seen it.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
great.
perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect. Look
Woman
at that.
after
You're
my
not
own
alone.
heart.
You're hearing this now and hearing it live that we're going to come back around with this one over here in
Boondock
stripes.
Saints. I've heard references, and I'm always like, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get it.
You're
Walk
going to
away.
enjoy the fuck out of it. But that's what's always fun. Like, that's why I like doing this. And like, I've seen a lot of movies, but it's also fun when it's flipped around and then it's a movie that I haven't seen and she has seen. Is there's kind of that moment where like it's in the zeitgeist and everybody loves it, and so a new person watches it and the one who's already seen it goes, huh? He's like that? You
Yeah,
like that part?
yeah.
And then the other person goes, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
Until you see it like grow on them or they really fall in love with it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Princess Bride one for you.
Yeah, I watched it 3 times because the first time I was like, okay, I saw it, and then we were supposed to cover it, and it was like weeks later, and then you were like,
yeah.
all right, when do you have time? And I'm like, oh shoot, I have to watch it. So then I watched it, and then I'm like, I forgot to take notes. So then I watched it again, and I took notes, and I was like, oh, okay, I like it. Yeah.
As you wish.
Nice. That's a good way into that segment. So the reason why we have these 2 lovely ladies and 3 lovely lady is because all 16 of us,
Oh my god.
Damn.
we saw the Terrifier 3, about like 2 weeks ago now? Opening
It was
weekend.
a week
A week ago, yeah.
Is it a week ago?
Yeah.
A week
Yeah.
ago.
My God.
Yeah, because I got last Sunday off too.
And whose idea was it to like we just all see it together?
Me.
I piggybacked
Nice.
off of y'all. Yeah.
Dude, I was
Because
so
the
happy they
kids
joined
wanted
us.
to see it, and I was like, cool, it's going to be like a family event. And then we just started inviting people.
And we have to do that. We have to do that more often. I think Alva had the foresight
We
to
have
look.
to rent out the theater. I'm sorry.
dude,
That's just better
Everyone
that
was
way.
mentioning that, right? They're
Wait,
like, when is
what?
Uncle Isaac going to rent out a theater, actually?
How much was it like for a.
Because it would be
That was sway my wife
it'd be
to
like
Steve Powers
$2
around.
cheaper,
Yeah.
like for everyone. Yeah, and I didn't think of it until after, and I was like, I'm dumb. But the only thing is with that, it is like a 3 p.m. showing.
Oh, yeah.
They have like certain times.
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
size
the
that
time
we, the
restriction.
size that we were in?
Yeah.
Was it a smaller theater? No. Well, the bigger theaters are the ones where you're gonna want even more people because it costs that much more, right?
Yeah. So I think the ones that I was looking at was between, the max was like 30 people. Mm-hmm. Then there's another one that was like 60 people. So it depends on which one we get.
So the smaller one being like what, about $200 or something like that?
Yeah. And then the other one's like $4.
That's totally doable.
Even then,
between all
I'm
of
just
us.
like, yeah, it's
Dude,
fine.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's look into the future when movies are coming out and they're worth seeing, worth tearing you away from your children that you supposedly love.
I'll do it for anything.
She'll do it even just.
Please, let's go see a movie after this. Fuck.
So I want to talk Terrifier a little bit, and me and Alva are like ADHD brains, so there's really no exact plan. So whatever the fuck you guys want to bring up, whatever little
good.
fun fact and thing you want to talk about, absolutely bring it up. But like, did you guys do your homework on like any kind of short history on the Terrifier?
No, I just kind of I just started from All Hallows Eve and just kind of like ran through them this weekend.
How were you introduced to the Terrifier?
Her, actually, Pearl.
Same.
Yeah.
Pearl.
Wait,
Again, the connect.
you guys know how I... Wait, hold on. Why does it sound off?
Oh, it's me.
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
No.
I lowered your mic. I lowered your headphones.
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
3.
I thought I was going to pass out. Everything just went... like that. I'm going to pass out, dude. That's how you feel. You're about to pass out. Everything.
Your equilibrium, like, wait a minute.
That's so weird.
Mom was over and she wanted to watch a scary movie with the kids, right? Because, Mom will scroll and she goes through like the B's, the C movies, whatever. And then she's like, oh, a clown. Click on it and we're watching it. And it's like, okay, it's creepy. And then it's that part in the Terrifier where the chick is upside down.
Oh my god.
Golden.
Inside. And
my
I just remember
God.
we were all like, what the heck? And then that's
Why can't
how...
I meet a guy to tear me in half like that? And this is why all of us want to go see the movie, because we're all fucking demented as hell.
Sickos,
Dude, I heard you in the middle of watching it, like,
No, do you remember hearing Noemi? Noemi was busting out.
Yeah.
We
What
are
was
a
she
special
laughing
kind
I
of
don't know,
sick.
but all I heard was like a little laugh, and I'm like,
She was just, and then I look at her, she has my phone, and she's at the screen like, I'm like, dude, what?
how? And fuck everybody for judging, but how old were your youngest?
Oh, she's 7.
And then Andre is...
Andre's 11, and then my 13-year-old and my 16-year-old.
Can we talk about real quick before we go into Terrifier that we grew up like on horror films?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know your mom and your parents didn't really allow you to. You were talking about pre-show that your stepdad,
My papa.
your pop,
My flesh and blood.
yeah, that you
He
gave him
would
like the
have
question.
the most grotesque, horrible, sex-fueled, blood and gore movies on. And because he was like, I'm not changing it for these assholes, we'd be like, oh, okay, we want to spend time with dad, so we'll watch,
Do you remember what the early? I mean, not to jump ahead, like because we want to talk about this end of the show, but
So
like
the earliest, it used to have to be like, hey, you and your brother go play in the room. And the earliest flash I remember is Jason Goes to Hell when the couple is fucking in the tent. And he was like, get out of here. The first one at like 7 that he showed me was The Blob.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
50s or 80s?
The 50s one.
Okay,
Yeah,
you said
yeah,
80s.
Nice,
You said
yes.
80s.
Yeah,
Bob?
I seen the 80s
How
one too.
fucking bloody is that
Yeah,
one?
dude, it's pretty
Holy
brutal.
shit, that's very brutal. Oh my god.
And so, yeah, that's my first introduction of,
I love it. Yeah, we were always same thing. Like they were always watching horror films. We talked like I think episode 1 introduction where like our mom was the one that loved horror stuff. My dad really didn't. He took us to go see Freddy vs. Jason.
I
Had to
just
walk
told the
out.
kids Noemi that today, and I was like, yeah, Grandpa Chente, like, he had to leave the theater because it was too gory for him.
Yeah.
He couldn't he couldn't go into hospitals, anything. He did not like it. So
But like if you remember Freddy vs. Jason, it's like campy level of horror,
Yeah.
and like the blood was like blah blah blah. You're like. Me and her were so...
used to catch it
we were-
back. It's it.
Yeah, we were so vetted at that point. We're like, and my dad's like, oh, I can't. I gotta walk
He was
out.
like, he
You
looked
guys
like he
like
was gonna
this?
faint, and he just sat in the lobby, waited for us.
yeah. So,
the things you do for kids, huh?
I thought it was gonna be a family movie.
because Andre loves Michael Myers, loves
yeah.
Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I borrowed his mask last year.
Friday night we watched. I was trying to. It's the 2018 one.
We're like the trilogy
Halloween.
picked back up again.
Yeah.
Is that H2O? No.
No.
So I think it's just Halloween.
Oh,
That's why I
okay.
asked
Yeah.
him, and he's like, "Mom, it's just Halloween." But we watched that one. Yeah.
it's,
oh, the
it's,
one that takes away the third one.
yeah, it's the
So
it's the
1, 2, and-
continuation. It
Yeah, and then that one
restarted it.
continues. Because 3H2O is about the mask. That's why everyone's like, I hate this. And I'm just like, you don't
Oh, so
understand
it
it.
just picks. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
It just picks up.
Yeah, because in case you don't know, or in case anyone listening or watching doesn't know, the recent continuation of the trilogy or whatever, like Halloween's one of those things that's like very not similar to Star Wars. No, what's the other thing that just anyways, where they were like
goes off everywhere.
They were like all the sequels, forget about it.
I see.
Completely forget about
Yeah,
it. We're
okay.
only picking up from one.
Got it.
So all the lore, all the bullshit people
It
hated,
just, yeah.
Okay.
erased it.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Boop.
Like Hulk. Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not the hype attack. We're not. I don't need nerds fucking fact checking. me.
Whatever she said.
Yeah. She said it.
Strike me
Mel
down.
said it. Or strike me down. Okay, so let's get into Terrifier. A little short history. It's directed and created by a Damien Leone.
Leon.
And that guy's like, have you ever watched any of his interviews?
No, I haven't.
You would love it. He's just like
Very
he's like straight from Staten Island kind of
Staten
guy.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's fucking awesome, dude. He's great. He's like, yeah, I just loved all like the fucking horror films, and like I just thought, well, let's make him like the anti-villain kind of guy, where it's like, he really did pick and choose. It was very a la mode. He picked and choose all of the favorite tropes from all of everyone's favorite horror things, and was like, put it in there. I didn't like that person did that. Let's improve on that. And then you get Art the Clown.
Fantastic.
Fantastically. So, part of an ADHD brain, we were really talking about how you came to Terrifier. She introduced it.
Yes.
Did you see before me?
No, Pearl introduced it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks to Pearl,
Thank you, Pearl.
I would never have known about this movie, and you were like, I don't remember how you actually like introduced it to me. You're just like, have you not seen this?
No, I think I just
Sourced and
was
started.
saying that, hey, like, mom was over and we watched this really weird thing, and then the kids were there, and I think I showed you that part.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Or you might have even like posted it on stories.
Sorry, just like with the show The Boys, right? You showed me that one part, and I was like,
Sold.
I'm in, right? And then I started watching it. So
Yeah.
that part, and then then just went from there.
Because I mean, I'm kind of forgetting some of like the dates and stuff like that, but in a general sense, Damien Leone, whatever, don't quote me on- Leone. He introduced the character of Art the Clown in an anthology series called All Hallows Eve, and that is what you recommended to me.
Actually, he did it with Ninth Circle in 2008
Okay,
as a short. And then he decided to do the anthology.
there you go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
Alva's
get
my
it together.
Alva's my fact checker.
And I didn't do my research, but I know that
She's
much.
not just here to look pretty.
Hey,
And
looks
like,
and brains, huh?
that deserves a drink break.
I know you see my proud.
She's like,
Delivered.
I don't have a drink break sound button. Whatever.
it's fine.
Nope.
What in the world was that?
So yeah, he had that. So and then involved it into the anthology series. And what was very interesting though about All Hallows Eve? Did you watch All Hallows Eve?
I did indeed.
What's very interesting about that one though is it's like it just introduces Art the Clown, but like all of the things built into that is kind of forgotten about once we start the actual Terrifier trilogy.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was his way of like, let's just throw shit to the wall. Quoting him, he says, we just threw it all to the wall. In the Ninth Circle, there's like the demons and there's all this other shit.
Yeah.
Even though there's like the three, movies or whatever in the anthology series All Hallows Eve, and you get little bits of Art the Clown.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of shoehorned into that Aliens one, which was really stupid, as like a picture frame or a painting. That picture right there too. I don't have it up here, but it's what I like about Art the Clown is he toes a line of like supernatural from the beginning. And you kind of don't know where he's going to go in the anthology series. So I'm so glad that like he had his own standalone thing in Terrifier with only a budget of $35,000.
30 to 50. Yeah.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it started off small, and just like with any, and this is quoting him, like with any other horror film, like with Halloween or Jason, the villains that we know and love today started off as something that we kind of hated if you watched the original, other than the original Halloween.
Yeah.
But as they continued on, they like evolved and grew a little more supernatural. And like Jason, for instance, Friday the 13th, actual Jason, not till the third one or something like that.
Yeah.
Until he actually gets his look. So all that's to say is like, you watch the first Terrifier, and yeah, you can feel that it's a low budget, and there's not a strong storyline, and people, I don't know if you read this anywhere, but people were like, it's gore porn. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really
So
fucking
what?
good at it.
And you know why? Because Damien Leone himself and his partner,
Phil Falcone.
there you go, Phil Falcone. Those two guys, they used to do
Couple of
real
white
Focus Staten Island, hey, me and my guy Falcone and Leone. It's Leone. It's got to be Leone.
It's Leone.
Yeah. Staring. But those two are the ones that actually they were hands-on with like the makeup effects and the gore.
Yeah.
And I love when a director wears multiple hats.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
like, did you watch, you probably didn't, but did you watch Godzilla -1?
No, did not.
Okay, what was really awesome about that, not to make this into a Godzilla thing, but the director on a $15 million budget made a Godzilla movie better than all of like the legendary films.
Oh, shit.
Because he also was a visual arts, like a digital visual arts director. Excuse me. And so when a director is like, oh, no. None of my vision's going to get lost in translation. I'm going to do exactly what I need to do. And if you watch the first Terrifier, and absolutely if you watch the second Terrifier,
Yeah.
you see where that passion is.
Oh, yeah.
Because although somebody might simplify it into like gore porn,
But I mean, even there is some tender loving care within that porn aspect of it.
bingo.
You know what I mean? There's
Bingo.
that attention to I mean, you know, when you make love, attention to detail, paying attention to your partner's needs, to your partner's sounds, the sound of the
So they
squish.
say.
Of the,
So they say.
the,
Myth.
like, the squish of like the impact of the weapon into the flesh, the
Oh,
actual
we're still talking about
showing
killings,
it.
yeah.
Depends on what kind of
That's what
night.
I call it.
Yeah, all the eye for it's the little things. It's the little things that the horror fan kind of like takes and appreciates.
It's always the little things.
It's always the little things.
Why are you
Shots
I
fired.
googled it. It's average. But that's that is exactly what I'm saying. Is I feel that the Terrifier movies, and I want to get your guys' take on it. I feel that it is a horror lover's horror film.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thoughts, prayers?
Absolutely. I feel like Rob Zombie gave a stab at it, but he is sort of on his own. I mean, you could tell it just the same as you could tell a Tim Burton film, you could tell a Rob Zombie film. And now Terrifier is making its own name and its only its own style kind of presented. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, this has that special touch. And it's executed so wonderfully.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the this is not digital. This is all practical hardware that they're making and that they're paying attention to the little details. And yeah, it was just.
I didn't do any of my. I didn't like write down any specific kills because the one that just stands out in the first Terrifier
Oh, yeah.
is
When
what you
she's
alluded to.
yeah.
Is the split down the middle.
Yeah.
Because any horror film that I watch,
So creative.
I'm always looking for a creative kill.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something that, you go, yeah, I know I'm watching, ketchup packets and stuff but I want to feel that visceral feeling,
Yeah.
I want to get grossed out.
Oh yeah.
And that scene, I was like, this guy's got something. He's onto something. So what was amazing about that one is even though his budget was the $35,000, he made $416,000 back
Well
worldwide.
deserved. Well
Not bad.
deserved.
So obviously, Hollywood's going to go, hey, you're onto something because he made a lot of money. But what was really cool is once he jumped on to making the second one, he was like, well, I did this for $35,000. Then I'm going to need a bigger budget. I'm going to need a $50,000 budget.
Dude.
So he goes on Indiegogo. Yeah.
No. I thought it was 250,000 for the second one. 30 to 50,000 for the first.
Oh, no.
200
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were half listening as I'm getting to that. She does this every now and again. It's okay.
I was like, wait, what?
That's what I'm saying. The first one he made for $35,000, and then he made $416,000, and then once they were going to make the second one, which is all of 6 years later, so from 2016 to 2022, which is awesome because he had all that time to work on the script to really flesh out all the details to actually have a fleshed out protagonist. Because even though the first one was fun and gory, you can kind of tell it had a smaller budget because it really took place in like one or two spots.
Yeah.
the acting maybe wasn't so great. You know, you're like, there's no storyline. It is kind of just gore porn. But what, like actual porn, you go, yeah, this gets me off. But, you know, I
And
kind
then you
of,
feel ashamed afterwards.
but, you know, I kind of want a story to follow along with it before
Yeah.
I get to my kills and stuff. And so once we're brought on to part 2 with, again, he hit up Indiegogo and was like, here's my budget, or here's my goal, $50,000, and surpassed that. He ended up raising $250,000, so $250,000. Wow. The movie fucking blew up. That movie made $15.7 million. You do the math on that.
Attaboy.
I don't know what the fucking percentage, increase of all the money made back, but like what was amazing though is a lot of times studios note the fuck out of
Oh, God.
They get
And
their
then they
hands in
just
it.
gut the shit out of it. And it ends up being shite. Poor original script is like, dude, I promise you it was not meant to be like this, but I got all these fucking notes that I had to adhere to because, Papa's paying the bills.
Yeah, it's exactly it. And so what was the distributor for these movies?
That was
It was I was gonna say Cinemark. Cinemark's the fucking theater.
Pico.
Cineverse.
Cineverse was like, we like what you did here. You made us a lot of money. Do it again. And didn't get involved. The only note they gave them was like, try to keep it under 2 hours. He's like, okay,
Yeah. So
well, I gotta do what I want to do, and had that $250,000 budget, made all that money back, came back with a third one, and that one was I think a $2 million budget.
wow.
And what
For the third one?
Yeah.
So, I'm always afraid of like budget restrictions or even too much money that they're allowed to play with, because sometimes a smaller budget puts the pressure on them, and they're
More
like
resourceful.
and you feel that passion and that creativity and that resourcefulness. And I was like, I hope this didn't lose it with a third one. It was so awesome. He got to hire a whole team of special effects guys. So
Yeah.
he wasn't hands on
Yeah.
with the special effects with this one, but he ended up hiring who was the guy?
I don't know how to say his name. Where'd he go? Christian Tinsley. I do know how to say his name. Sorry. That was a different name.
Christian Tinsley, who was involved in
Passion of the Christ.
All right.
Was it Renfield? No Country for Old Men?
yeah.
Okay.
So
Is that why the thorn?
if anyone's seen
Yeah.
fucking Passion of the Christ, that was Jesus Christ. That was bloody.
That was some gore porn. Yeah. That's
So-
some gore porn.
Like that's such a specific choice to go. All right, I have a lot of visceral, grounded gore in my movies. Who can I hire? Oh, the guy that did the Jesus Christ thing.
Yeah, perfect.
Beautiful. So he's able to focus on other things and everything like that. But like, I didn't see any disconnect. Did anybody see any disconnect from the second or third
Absolutely
one?
not.
No.
I feel like that was one of the main things that I appreciated in this one. I was like, oh my God. And then I feel like the master himself, Tom Savini,
Oh my God,
even
talk
appears
about
in
that.
it and he kind of like blesses it with his presence. Like, dude, I'm so down for this makeup and these special effects.
Unfortunately, much to everyone's chagrin, I wasn't sitting next to you during the movie. But like, did you do like the?
I did the,
I couldn't
but
nail
to my
him.
defense, I also did that for Annie Letterman. So
Oh, dude! She was on one of her lives. I'm like, I saw you in Terrifier.
you did fantastic. You look great.
So let's talk Terrifier. I keep writing down T1 and T2, and I was like Terminator. Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2. There is a significant jump in the fact that like this is where I was going with the whole porn thing. ADHD brain is from 1 to 2. First one is just like, let's see what we can do and see what we can get away with. Let's cross those lines. And then part 2 comes around and he's like, oh, we need to actually flesh out some characters. and I enjoy vastly that he saw that. And like when you see the movie, you go, oh, I love that he saw what was missing and threw it in there.
Right.
Because yeah, we love all the kills, right? We're all there for the kills, but you can't have a movie of just nothing.
Just
but
consistently hit back to back. Like, okay, and this one doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But man, look at this. Look at how he tears it up.
And I always say that, like, if you're gonna scare, you gotta care about your characters. Like, you gotta.
You do, yeah.
You have to build them up. You have to have some storyline, and not only that, but he built more lore into this movie. And so like it was kind of seeded in part one, especially at the end of part one. And then part two comes around and it's like, let's continue to build on that. Part three comes around and they continue to build on that more and more. Maybe some of it's not like as clear cut. And I actually don't care if it's a little like muddy in the waters as far as like the lore, because what he still gives us is like, we know you're here for the kills. You get to enjoy that.
And here's a sprinkle of adoration for the main character. Dude, I love where Art has gone. I love where he is in this movie. I mean, he's just this little, the little joy that I think Faith said it on the way home. It's almost as if he's surprised that his victims aren't enjoying it as much as he is. You know? Like he's like, oh my goodness, isn't this the best ever? They're just like, oh.
Are you having fun? You're not having fun?
Yeah,
okay.
this is my fun. And he was just really, I actually kind of made a connection while I was watching it. So the reason Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger was one of my favorites growing up, is because before that I had just watched Michael Myers and all the Halloweens, and he was the strong silent type, right? Not a word. But Freddy brought this quickness and this charm, and he always had these jokes, and he was a smart ass. And I feel like Art the Clown is delivering that in a complete mime, like silent setting.
Yeah.
So I love that about him.
Yeah, he's so expressive and he's selling it. And you're just like
when he's Santa Claus sitting there and he's just like that's me. Like this is me, right? When he's like, come on,
you guys.
you know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah,
And that's thanks to, I keep forget, David Howard Thornton. So,
David Howard Thornton.
So
it's like a Dr. Seuss character, huh?
I feel like that's a singer or something.
I don't know.
David Tennant.
because he donned the makeup and the suit in part one, but I don't think he was on any of the All Hallows Eve or anything.
No, that was someone else.
Mike Gianelli.
For All Hallows Eve?
Yeah. So that was someone completely else.
Gianelli.
yeah,
Gianelli.
you can definitely see
That's
the evolution of the wardrobe and costume.
And he had said, he goes, well, I studied what he was doing, and that was just like my foundation. And then based his version of art, like off of that, off of Buster Keaton, off of Pennywise, like all of these different things.
Have
He actually
you
was a
seen the
mime.
clips of him where he's doing his audition, like his audition
No.
tape? There's like there's one,
yes.
right? And he's doing it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's him. But it's so crazy to me to like see him without makeup.
Yeah.
Or even when he's in makeup and he's speaking, I'm like, nah, this isn't real. Like this is voiceover because it doesn't click to me.
There was a clip, I guess. I forgot who it was. And they posted it, and there's like they're all having lunch. They're like in between filming, and he's like full makeup because he can't take it off.
Trying to not ruin,
So he's
to ruin the makeup. It's like,
he's eating
so
it.
he's
Yeah.
eating, and he's like
shark eating it.
yeah.
he's like. That he is. Where is he gonna start killing them? I'm like, is this like a behind the scenes of a scene that never made it in?
There's one where he's on the tricycle and he's like singing. He's like riding a tricycle and he's my
I
god, it's
gotta
funny
watch
because
that.
of his voice. I'm like, no way, that's not.
But like I say this in a lot of our breakdowns, like we even talked about in Princess Bride. It's like one of the things we always cover is like, oh, this person was considered for the role, and that movie would have been different. This person would have been was thought to direct it, and that would have been a very different movie. Fuck, her dad was watching Bad Boys, and I go, did you know that they were thinking of John Lovitz and Dana Carvey in the Bad Boy role? That would have been a different movie.
And her dad just looks at you and just says, shut up, watch this movie.
What do you mean? I'm a bad boy.
Oh my god.
But in with David Howard Thornton being Art the Clown, like he gave a fuck about the role, and it shows 1,000,000%.
Yes.
And his mannerisms, he says like he can turn it on and off. Like he's now can live in the character, and like when he's angry in real life, he thinks, "Oh, Art the Clown."
That would have me just like, am I going there? Where you want me? You want
Wait,
here?
apparently he used to be like a teacher.
Yeah.
Well, that's where all the anger came from.
Dude, that's
All those
so hot.
kids.
He gives kids the death stare. Like,
Probably. They're probably like,
Mr. Thornton, you okay?
oh my god. We need to find like a yearbook with this photo in it.
And just draw the Art Clown makeup on him. So obviously David Howard Thornton, like he makes the movie so much more wonderful. Just like you can't have a Freddy Krueger without Robert Englund.
Oh yeah.
You can't.
Fuck out of here.
They tried it. It was okay.
Oh my god,
It
what
was
was
different.
that?
That was the guy that played Rorschach. I forget the actor's name.
Did not like that.
But hell, even with Halloween, like the original guy donned on the jumpsuit and the mask to play it in the continuation. So there's even though he's the quiet type. There are those particular mannerisms, especially if he's like the quiet mime and the doing the gestures and stuff. Like you need to have that guy because he's the only guy that can tap into that in ways that absolutely fucking nobody can. Where you're terrified at a kill scene, and then you're having fun because he smiles along with you and makes some fucking joke. Or like, for instance, right? Let's go here. Terrifier 2. Favorite kill scene?
The chick in the bed.
Bingo. And like he's having a blast with it. He's like, oh, and goes.
But then my favorite part after that is when he gives the kids the candy in the bowl.
Oh, and they're hurting her head, her scraped out head.
I'm like, oh, like the kill scene's over, that's it. And then he comes out
And
and
he
like,
just whipped, like,
dude,
huh, you
what?
guys?
Yeah.
Because we're all supposed
like,
to have
it's
fun
so
with we're supposed to have fun with certain kind of horror films, like especially this kind of horror film. And yes, it's very demented. We get it. But there's ways to do that where you're like, oh, I feel guilty about like the fact that I had fun that he, peeled a girl's face off and threw salt in her back, but look, he's having fun with the kids and giving them It's such a balance because Damon Leone, like he has said it himself. He goes, no, every sequel of Terrifier, I'm looking for those lines and I'm crossing them.
Yeah.
Like, because the cold open for part 3. Anybody want to talk about it?
Dude. I feel like there's been this unspoken rule about like, I mean, no kids. No kids. And then for those who do cross that line, the movie, you just know it's going off the fucking rails because it's like, all right, dude, well, there's nothing else that's untouchable. And you're murdering that kid.
He's killed animals, but it's like rats. Well, has he done any dogs or cats?
No.
No.
But I think just rats. But I think that's like rodents. Like,
Yeah.
It's
a different.
I feel like kids were like the second star in this film.
So
well, you can't discriminate. You have to just include everyone. Like all inclusive and everything.
This movie doesn't have any other message other than inclusivity. If you have a heartbeat, you're gonna die. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, that's why people, and it was in Australia. People in Australia were like fainting and throwing up and walking out. Right? It was only like 2 or 3 people. But the opening for Terrifier 3, spoiler alert, it's the first 10 minutes is a cold open where he's stalking and then murdering these 2 kids.
Yeah.
But even Leone said, he goes, but I had to make it sort of, appeasable or appease like a wider audience. And so when you realize like, oh, he didn't show.
Yeah, you just hear it.
You hear it and then you see the after effect. But it's not the first time that Art the Clown did that. In All Hallows Eve.
That's right. He cuts up the kids and their
go.
pieces on the bed. Yeah,
So
that's right.
if people who are getting mad at Terrifier 3 for Art the Clown killing the kids, like he's already been there, done that, so he's kind of a hack himself.
All I'm saying is that girl could have just not moved in that cabinet just a little bit longer. She would have lived.
Kids never fucking listen.
And I'm just
dumb,
like,
dude.
what? No, anyone who's hiding, they
How
like.
does she not scream though? Like what? You know what I'm saying?
It's horror films. You gotta like suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was happening, I would just be like, okay, fine.
We have
I'll hide.
established this that like Alva would absolutely survive any like horror situation.
Yeah, I would be
Just
like,
be glad that your siblings gone. You get to keep all their gifts.
I would have been
clean
like,
up
okay,
the-
the gifts.
What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Because you and I like kind of learned firsthand when we did the 17th door that I won't do well.
Stop doing that.
And I'm over here like, see, they're gonna go and do that, and I'm at home, be like, I'm in my own business. The heck, like,
No. I was definitely gonna chicken out. I was like, nope. And then when we were in that van, I was like, dude, this is what like.
Oh, you were having a full fucking panic attack.
I
dude.
thought we were gonna be buried alive. Like I felt it, and then the first thing I did is when we got in the van, I checked the back because I thought someone was gonna be hiding in there. No one was there. But then they put us in this like the container, like a cargo
container, yeah.
And then they close the door and it's dark, and I'm just like, get me the fuck out of here.
I was like, hey, no, it's okay. Like we were, and then Amanda's like, you can't. You just gotta fucking go through it.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
In true
Cut it
Amanda
out.
No, but the
style.
second they opened the door, I was fine. Like I just like needed the air, and then we're just like going, and I just remember like it was. I think everyone was saying like we got to keep like stay together, guys, and no, fuck you, like we're hauling ass. So
I pushed her out of the way. I fell to the ground, but I still pushed it out of the way. It's like, sorry, everyone. Once you get tased, by the way,
Yeah.
and you realize it's not like an average maze where someone's going boo, and they're actually hurting you, and you're like,
Put it this way. We were so scared shitless, right? It's that there was a part where they're like, okay, well, this is a drugs, hold it, whatever. And we were supposed to give it back to the people because they're props at the beginning of the 17th door. And we thought that if we gave it up, they were going to like tase us or something. So all of us were like, we don't have anything. And she's like, really? We're like, no, we don't have anything. And at the end, someone's friend was like, did you guys give back like the drugs and props? And we're like, no, we have. He's like, dude, you're supposed to give it back.
here's what the mood was, right? Because there's like the main 17th door, and then we paid extra for like the field trip, right? A pre experience, and for people just doing any one of those, but like everyone's like, yeah, let's go, cool, and as were we, because we've done mazes before. We're like, yeah, scare me, bro. But don't tase me, bro. And once you realize, like, oh, this is a completely different experience. What the fuck did I get myself into? You don't want to get tased again. You ever been tased?
Out of the bedroom? No. Shadow puppy.
So, like, everyone that came back from the field trip experience, everyone got tased. I got tased in the ass, in the back. Amanda was fucking mouthy. Classic Amanda. And got tased, and she like fucking, straightened out, and so that is why everyone was like, oh, I don't want to give up the bag or whatever. Like, oh,
Just scared shitless.
Yeah, dude, if something like that were to happen to me in real life, I'm like, see ya, kids. Like, I'm no longer a mother or a wife. I'm like, fucking
I know, we'd like to
out.
think.
Sorry,
right,
Isaac, but you would be left
How would you
behind.
save your kids?
So-
You wouldn't.
No.
You'd be like, bye.
Maybe the little one because he doesn't weigh too much.
so secret time.
What?
A couple hours before coming here, as I'm like getting ready, putting on my makeup and whatnot, I come out of the bathroom.
And I noticed that he had his glasses on the bed, not on his face, as they should be. Or, if he's washing his face, they should be with him. No,
I'm blind as a bat.
I decided to stand very still and wait for him. So this is where and he comes out. And I scare him, and he just falls to the ground. And I'm just like, this is why I would just like, nah, I'm gone, because by the time you get up,
I was in the middle of like getting a stick of gum, and I was like, huh! I dropped to the ground, and I'm just like scared and like
fainting goat.
he's like,
yeah, it's exactly what it
he's
felt
like,
like.
Yesterday, Greg was showing Susie his mask. He made a scarecrow mask, right?
Dude, it looks so
Sick
good.
mask,
So
by
he's,
the way.
he's like, look, and then he's like, okay, he turns down the lights and he's like, babe, call out the kids, right? So it's Max, Noemi, and Andre in the room. Vincent's just like wandering around. And then it's like pitch black, and he's walking around, and then Max comes out, and Greg is like by the front door, and Max goes and he like walks towards Greg, goes, hello? Like, those are danger. And we're just like, dude, Max is going to be the one to like freaking kick someone's ass if they come in the house.
Oh my god.
But they were not afraid because they couldn't see. It was that dark that we couldn't see anything.
I love being scared though. Like when I go see horror films, like
absolutely.
like we saw Smile 2 last night, and we'll do a whole separate podcast about it. But
Can't
like,
oh my
wait.
God.
Can't wait.
Did you cover your eyes?
No.
Oh, okay. Because people were like, it's so scary. I'm covering
No,
my
it
eyes.
actually
scary
made me
movies.
like jump like out of my, like a little bit. I'm like, oh my God.
I jumped in Smile 1 because she opened a can of
No.
like
on my
cat food or something. And the first one, there was like a part where it wasn't supposed to be scary.
something, yeah.
Yeah, and they did it, and Faith and I were. And I was the only
They
part I
did
jumped.
something in the
Yeah.
second one that was very similar to the first,
okay.
where someone's listening or watching something, and you're like, "Oh, I'm watching it with them."
Yeah, because once
Yeah.
you get tight, you tighten up. You're like,
And then it's going to be there, and you're like, okay.
it's coming.
We were talking about on the drive home. This is just a little short review of Smile 2, but what was so clever about the movie was like the director or whomever like knew what the formula was, and then just like changed some of the scare beats to be either early or later.
Ah,
So
okay.
as you're waiting for it,
Nice
you're like,
offset.
boom.
Yeah.
And the entire, there was this one jump scare that wasn't cheap. It was so fucking like set up in a beautiful way. Ugh. And then everybody, even like these two dudes were like, yeah, fucking,
Hey, you got me.
Yeah. Everyone, I heard like a, ah! And I looked and it was the guys. Yeah.
Oh, the ones next to me? Yeah, both of them go, ah! And I'm just like, I'm over here laughing at them, not realizing that I did the same thing.
Yeah. All of us, everyone was like laughing afterwards because
Yeah.
we fucking got scared. You got us.
I was like, yeah. No one has to know.
This P was here when I got here. Any standout moments in Terrifier 3?
Yes. I like the tube with the rats.
Oh, very creative. God, the way that they come up with these ideas.
Fun fact: he was very nauseous doing
Yeah,
that
Arthur
scene.
Clown.
He was very nauseous doing that. Like he was very like, I would do anything with this character, but that like crossed like a weird line for him.
Yeah.
He was like,
God, even just the knocking it back.
yeah. I think it was like,
Yeah.
that. And I really like the Santa, like him be like being so happy about Santa.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that was.
I think that was fun about Terrifier 3 is it's like you get Art the Clown in different seasons and he gets to like have fun with Santa, and that scene in the bar, I forget the guy who plays Santa, if you could look that one up real quick, but
When he
fuck,
freezes his face.
what was Ron Howard's brother? Clint Howard.
Clint Howard.
is in that, and I'm like, that fucking guy. Apparently, it took him like a week to shoot that, but like they had a bunch of fun and got to improv. I think that's probably
Daniel Roebuck?
Daniel Roebuck. I think that was my favorite scene in the whole movie because it was like you knew those guys are gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
Everyone, you're like, why aren't you listening to the bartender?
No, but even
Always
the whole
listen to
time,
bartender
like,
kids.
yeah, no one listens. That's like
Kids
if
and
I were,
bartenders, no one
if that's
listens.
like if I were to tell all you guys here, be like, no, like we gotta go, like that's the thing, and then you guys will all ignore me, and be like, I'm gone, but I told you guys so, like this is why I'm surviving.
But it was just so funny because it's like the bartender was like, no one finds this weird. Like, if we were like at a restaurant and then this guy comes in, I'd be like, dude, Mel, let's get the fuck out of here.
I'd be like, hang on.
He has a place. Hey, he has goodies for us.
Look at his sack.
but that's how he would be.
Yeah.
Like that's how Isaac would be, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm leaving you here. I'm gonna go now.
I
Bye.
would be gone.
I like that in any movie where you have the person that no one's listening to, like the actual like,
yeah.
voice of the
Yeah.
audience that
Yeah.
don't go in their person, and like that, that was that. If not the kids, that was that.
Yeah.
But any other standout?
Ooh, the butt crack.
That okay.
Sorry, the butt crack and the balls.
So people
I clenched so hard.
people have commented. They're like, "Oh, Damien Leone is like a misogynist because the way he treats the women who get killed, it's brutal and it's
he
very
said, "Take
long."
that.
And literally the first scene that I saw of Terrifier of like the chick getting split, I felt like that was like a callback to that of like, look, we
Absolutely.
can do it to men too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll rip them a new one.
I also feel like Arthur Clown should do an Easter Bunny. If he's already done Santa,
He's just not.
Why not Easter
I
Bunny?
love it because Christmas is right around the corner, which I fucking hate. But now we can watch this movie during the holidays.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a double. It's definitely a
Yes.
double favorite.
Your
Stand
bloody
it.
floppy dong. Sorry, I'm the only one that commented on that.
I saw it.
Audrey was sitting next to me. Audrey's all, oh.
Liza on the other side, she's like, with her hoodie, she's like, I don't want to see this. And like, she covered her face, and I'm like, why are you here? Why are you
Was
here?
it Lila that wasn't there when we saw Evil Dead with
Yeah.
the cheese grater
yeah.
and had to tell her about it? Because
yeah.
she went to the restroom and we all, and then she runs in because she couldn't find the exit to the restroom. And I had to explain it to her, and I was like, dude, that was gnarly.
Yeah.
That one was gnarly.
That one made
Some
me like
juicy.
the chills, but the butt crack definitely in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bows.
On the
And
balls.
And then bouncing as he's like,
Like he couldn't cut through the balls. Like what the heck? They were
had to
just
bounce.
flopping around all the time.
Yeah, Elbow won't like get involved with me unless like I have blood covering my
Yeah.
junk.
Just
It's very
hold
weird.
on.
Yeah.
That's why you guys never have ketchup in the house.
To each their kink. And like I would love. Like, they have greenlit a Terrifier 4, and I would love an Easter.
Yeah,
Arthur-
I
Easter
hope
Bunny
he
Arthur
does an
Clown.
Easter one because I feel like that would cover everything. I mean,
Oh, he's gonna do a zombie Jesus like you did.
zombie
Oh my God.
but I also feel he said that he doesn't want it to like go past 4. Like 4 is that's it for him.
Yeah.
He's gonna turn into a Saw. I stopped watching Saw after. I don't know.
Well, even any other of the like the major
many?
franchises, like the Screams, like we've been enjoying some like the later trilogies, but like or the requels or whatever the fuck people call them.
Oh my god.
But like it falls apart when you start just having multiple sequels. Like, how do you build on the lore? How do you make it better than the last thing?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like if you kind of take from how like the Brits do their TV series and their seasons, they like to go, yeah, we'll have 8 episodes, 3 seasons, and then we'll end it at
That's
that.
it.
Yeah.
America's
The
like
most 4.
And you're still in it. You're still like balls deep every season.
Like,
And then
What is it
America
like?
takes
And,
it and
like,
makes 10
ring
more
the
seasons
shit
after
out of
that.
Law and Order is like on
Jesus.
No,
almost
it's
30.
NCIS.
NCIS,
Grey's
Law and
Anatomy.
Order,
I know.
Grey's Anatomy. Like, I don't need that many.
The
like,
View.
how on earth is that still going?
Oh,
Bless those ladies' hearts.
Yeah.
Where was the record scratch on that one?
It's crazy broads, huh?
But I'm
They
so
keep changing them around too.
Yeah.
like
I feel like they
the-
just keep changing the blonde Republican lady to the next blonde Republican
Yeah.
lady, you know?
They're not going to run out of blondes.
It's hot.
all the
Like a bitchy blonde.
Karens.
But that's what I admire so much about Damien Leone is even how he constructed the whole thing of again, to repeat myself, like pulling all the favorite tropes and combining it into one this franchise.
Chef's kiss, dude.
And the fact that he said, no, we're ending it at 4. I'm like, thank goodness. Now,
Good man.
I
Yeah.
hope Hollywood doesn't entice him
Yeah.
with a bigger paycheck and like, well, I got to bring it back. It's like, no, let it exist in this little vacuum of like 4 movies.
Yeah.
Let that be your masterpiece. Step away. Maybe you can be involved in another bigger franchise that
Which
wants to.
the next one has been, well, I feel like with each one, it gets better and better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always apprehensive about like, oh, they're going to do that again. And it's just like, all right, cool. So how many more times, like you said, can that happen? You know?
Because he seeks the line and then he crosses it and you're like, how the fuck? Because he said that he does those things, of seeking the line and crossing. I'm like, you kind of crossed a lot of lines in these last 2 movies.
Dude, there were so many times in the theater that I was like, what the? No way. Like, how the hell did you do that? Like, I know how you did it, but like, I would have never, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited for part 4, but I'm like, dude, what else are you gonna do? I will say, by the way, that although I very, very much enjoyed part 3, part 2 holds a place in my heart
Yes. I agree. I completely agree.
because he, going back to it again, because he installed the storyline into it, and we didn't even mention that the protagonist is a strong female protagonist.
Yes, she is, honey.
Wonderfully played by Lauren Lavera, excuse me, Lauren Lavera, and she's an amazing actress. Some of the other actors in there were like they were okay, but she was fantastic in her scares and her deeper emotion like with her brother, and you have to have those things,
Dude, and those guttural screams.
Holy shit!
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
By the way, going back to Smile 2, fucking Naomi Scott is impressive. Oh,
I love a good
Is
scream, dude.
impressive.
And it's just
Anxiety
Yeah.
attack riddled fucking movie
Yeah.
that she's just like screaming through the entire thing. And I'm like, I'm gonna buy you a meal. Like, dude, I'm about to go on my way. But that's so yeah. Sienna. She plays Sienna, and is such a strong character. And the lore is built into her family and to her whole backstory. And I love that Leone was like, we gotta make it a little less, gore porn to fit in with all these other movies that we don't need a requel and a sidequel. Like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it right. And these limited amount of movies that we're given.
Yeah.
God bless him. Satan bless him. Whatever.
Bless is hot. Bless is hot.
Any other thoughts? Any other fun facts on Terrifier before we start talking horror?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Also, additional credit to Samantha Scafferty, who plays Victoria Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
I love her makeup on the third one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like they really, really, pinned it down. on
Her
this one.
scene with like the
Dude.
glass.
There you go.
It made me kind of like chills, and I was like a little uneasy, but I was like a small like uneasy, and then I'm like, I'm good.
You could tell how
I'm
much
good.
she enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You can really see it, in
Yeah.
her facial expression.
Did you guys ever see Pain Olympics?
No.
No. Is this like a Faces of Death type of thing?
Yes.
Like the guys cutting their...
Yeah, it's along that. It's like, along with like the 2 girls, 1 cup thing.
It was around that time.
It's the one guy, 1 jar.
Oh.
You seen that?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was reminded of.
Oh, wow.
The sound and the blood. And
Yeah.
look, I'll play it now. Just completely get
JK.
fucking demonetized. That I feel like I haven't seen it in him confirming that in an interview, but I'm like, that motherfucker saw that shit and threw it into that movie.
Yeah.
I
was
think
like, I got
everyone
this.
probably has seen that. That's why they're like, gonna throw that in there.
Yeah.
God, it was so brutal. So much credit to Damien Leone. Terrifier. Any last thoughts about it again?
Go
Let's
watch
watch it again.
Yeah. Would definitely watch it again.
Let's quickly play
Fun for the whole family.
Rotten Tomatoes game.
Oh, they all liked it.
All right, first all right, so I want to let you guys like give your rating on the Terrifier movies Rotten Tomato score.
You have all 3?
What? Yeah. Actually, I don't have the third one though.
Yeah, that third one.
So Rotten Tomatoes score from 0 to 100, 70 being
okay.
fresh, right? So just your general.
I think I saw it though.
That's fine. Mel,
Cheater.
No, I was
Cheater,
looking
cheater.
at reviews. No, I wasn't. I was looking up stuff, and it was right there.
I'm horrible at this.
what would
so
you
this will be fun.
give part one?
Part one, Terrifier. My personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's give it a soft 75.
Let's see. You
Soft.
said 75.
75.
Why?
And what do you think the critics and audience scored it?
Oh God, critics are such shite. Let's see, number one, maybe 50, 52.
And audience?
Audience. I'm gonna give the audience a little bit more hope. Maybe 68.
Pearl, what's your personal score?
The first one?
I'm gonna write down the grades.
Like a 75, 80.
And what do you
So
think
75.
audience and what do you think critics and audience scored?
Critics like 62.
An audience?
Audience 70.
All right. So the critics, there is actually no rating.
What the heck?
They gave a 0.
No. Not a 0. They gave no rating. They just no rating.
What is that when you divide something by 0 undefined?
But the audience scored it a 50%.
Okay.
Okay.
I think kind of rightfully. I know you gave it a soft 70, but like I said, there's not a lot of story with it. But like the kills, it was like, oh, there's something here. So part 2, right, is an improvement with a bigger budget and everything. What do you guys give your personal score on 2?
2, like an 80.
Yeah, like 80, 82.
Both 80, 82. And what do you think critics and audience scored?
Both like a 70.
Yeah, maybe like a 68.
Ooh.
Critics gave it an 86%, and audience gave it an 80. Wow, you guys were like harmonizing on that one. Dang. And audience gave it an 81%.
Wow.
I was actually
faith in my
surprised.
community. All right. That's
But it's always funny when critics score higher than audience, especially
Yeah.
in a horror film.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting, but 80, hey, that's fucking passing.
It was a good week for them.
And then Alva, you have the final.
Yeah. So, what is your personal score for 3?
Let's see if they went 80. What do you think?
God, my personal? 92.
Okay.
Yeah, I give it a 96.
Okay. And the critics?
Critics, what do you think?
This is like 90.
90.
Okay.
Audience?
Audience.
Oh, this bitch is throwing up. But let's do like 85.
Okay.
Yeah, 88.
Critics 75.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Audience 87.
Okay.
Solid score on the audience. I was looking at the critic score. It started off at like 93, and then as days went by, it kind of like started to drop a little more. I was like,
Oh, so it varies depending
Yeah.
on how long it's been.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's even like older movies. I forgot what movie we were looking at, but like it was a movie that's been out for like 20, 30 years, and still someone last year was like reviewing it. I'm like, don't fucking skew the thing, dude. But there you go. There's a Rotten Tomato game on Terrifier 1, 2, and 3.
Trees.
If no one has seen it, you got to see the Terrifier movies.
Get out there.
They're not easy watches. They are fun if you're demented.
Real quick, Terrifier 2 came out on straight to
Oh, I don't know. It
Terrifier
was
2 was in the movie
Yeah,
theater.
not all or like select
I
theaters.
think select theaters because
It
I remember
wasn't,
asking
yeah.
her. She was like, "Oh, let me share my Shutter with you."
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it was on the Screenbox.
Screenbox, sorry.
Now, because the Terrifier 2 came out in 2022, so around that time,
Oh,
people
the COVID still.
A little bit,
I think we did see it in theaters, but it was around that time where it's like let's at the same time stream it as well as it showing in theaters.
yes.
Because we just saw
Yeah.
it on the Screenbox.
Oh yeah, no, I think it released both like theaters and same
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And on the
Another
good
side
old
note
box.
before we forget,
Yeah.
I forgot to bring this up earlier. Art the Clown was in Pete Davidson's show Bupkis. There's
was he?
yeah.
Oh, that's
There's a little scene, and
awesome.
I was like, I feel like so I pulled it up, and I was just like, just to confirm, and I'm like, here you go. So I'll probably put that on our social medias for you guys to see.
So those were our thoughts on Terrifier. So much fun. There's a lot to be said. We're not exactly like a podcast where we break down all little minor components and scene for scene. I mean, there are other YouTube channels and other podcasts that do that thing because this is just more fun and conversational. We're just hanging out and having our wines and having our coffees and our teas and our cocaines, and we're just
Silly. I think that's so silly.
He's drinking tea?
I was drinking tea. Oh. Yeah. So I had asked you guys prior to this of like some top favorites. Now you can just like, rattle them down, or if you want to like talk a little more, maybe what your reasoning is. But
Top favorites of which one are we doing?
Okay, so first,
Here, do you want my cheat sheet?
wait.
No,
Like your top favorites, I was like, wait, how are we doing?
I don't need a cheat sheet. Cheat sheet? A cheat sheet.
Your cheat sheet?
Cheat sheet, all
I
right.
didn't need a cheat sheet. I need some cheat sheets.
so first, we kind of talked about it at the top of the show, but what's your first horror film? If you guys remember, did you go that far back?
Ooh.
Mine was The Blob.
I don't really remember, but I remember the one that we were not allowed to see at all.
Yeah.
The Exorcist.
That was Child's Play. That's the first one that sticks.
Nice.
You know what? I remember watching The Leprechaun because Ruby had a sleepover.
Oh yeah,
And I couldn't watch it because Mom said it was too scary.
The Nightmare on Elm Street for me. I felt like that was like the early things.
I don't remember the first, but I just remember a lot of like, oh no, you can't see it. Oh no. And then, but the big one was we could not see The Exorcist at all.
Yeah, you know what? I was like a little tug on the old heartstrings when I was watching you with the kids when we were watching Terrifier 3 and you covered the eyes. I remember my parents doing it. My mom more so. My dad was like, let her. Fucking make a man out of her. Yeah.
She was sitting next to.
Well, I didn't know when to cover it because the girls were like, there's a really bad one, Mom. Faith kept on trying to like spoil it for me because she would watch it on TikTok or something.
But you're talking about like covering the kid's eyes, and Alva was sitting next to Lila, and there was like certain scenes that played out, and I go, should we cover it?
And then I look over and they're already doing it themselves. They're like, I know.
Microphone.
My bad.
God.
See,
This works, right?
when that part was happening, I remember shielding them, and Andre was like, "Why? What is it?" And I can't explain it to him. Like if it was like it's nudity, Papa. Like there's boobs. I didn't know what to tell him. So then I was thinking about the girls too, and I was like, "They're at this age.
No.
This is really weird." Like,
Faith was really good at it. Lila was just like, she didn't know she should or shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I would like look over and be like,
That's so weird.
like just like elbow her, be like, hey, you gotta like, sorry.
You can't see this shit.
Before we go into like the top threes and whatever, like what I was gonna generally ask like why do you enjoy horror films, but like fucking we're all
I think it's
sick.
evident.
We're all a little fucking broken, you know.
I'm not broken. As I sit here with contacts on.
That's what I said when I had my Beetlejuice jacket. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to snap any moment. So that one seems pretty obvious.
I feels it.
But what are your favorite types of horror?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just really gory, and like the psychological that as you're watching it, you're like, okay, well, it's whatever, and then later on, you're like, wait, what's that? Like you're home alone.
Yeah.
There's some psychological movies that never really have a monster, never really have anything scary. It's just all built on like the thought of something happening. One of the ones that pops to the top of my head is The Others. Remember The Others?
Oh,
Nicole Kidman?
The house is ours.
Ah, yes. Or spoiler alert, they're all dead.
Oh, I never seen it.
Oh.
She's like, well, there you go.
Damn it.
Yeah. And it's this lurking, like, wait, what is it then? Why is she so spaced out? Is her husband coming back? And then
But when they go in that room and like everything's covered, you think something's
Yeah.
gonna pop out, and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
what? And then nothing ever happens.
And like you said, like with all those like music design, sound design, you're like, oh my God, the music says I should be freaked out.
Yeah.
And they never really have anything freaky.
I mean, one of the movies or franchises that comes to mind with that is that fucking Insidious, the violin.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're just
But with the tiptoe song, the
Yeah.
kids hated for the
Oh,
longest.
love it.
Noemi still, oh my God.
Marilyn used to
She
get
watched it.
freaked
I'm gonna
out.
start thinking it right now. What is it?
Oh no, what happened? What did
Well,
I do?
you're
Sorry.
Oh, Hereditary.
Hereditary is a spooky one.
Messed with me so bad.
It messed
did
with me
not.
so hard. I had to like rewind it. Like Midsummer, you know how Midsummer opens?
Yeah.
I had to
No.
rewind it a couple times to see like,
No,
wait,
'cause
is that
we-
her?
No, because we watched it in the theater. So I remember, what's his name? Eli told us to watch it. The other bartender, and then Greg and I.
Hey!
I fucking hate you, dude.
It's perfect. I know that should be the thumbnail for y'all.
I thought you were gonna bring the glasses for this one over here.
Oh, it's in the car. Damn it. I knew I forgot something. The one thing we forgot.
But yeah, then later when we were sleeping, I kept on seeing things in the room because
Yeah.
of Hereditary.
Yeah, dude.
That someone ruined that movie. We were watching it in the theaters, and someone ruined it for me to where I walked out, and I'm just like, "This is supposed to be scary. I don't see it. Like, I don't see
It
what was this-
wasn't.
like, I don't see what it was like. So like." Supposed to get you
okay.
because somebody ruined it for me.
Oh,
And I
so you
tried
already-
watching it again, and I was just like, no, because that first like, the first watch is supposed to like,
Yeah, that's what
and it was
that's
like,
awful.
so
Yeah,
that's
trying to
like
be
my
immersive.
throwaway thing. And I'm like, it's whatever.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
walked out of the theater and we looked at each other like, what? And I'm like, I don't get it. And we didn't understand it. And then like when we woke up the next day, we're like, holy fuck. Did you see
love-
the guy in the corner wearing a hat? Like, yeah.
That one, I have a genre where it's like actual scares, and that is top of the list for a movie that actually scares me. You were asking when we were doing like some pre-production of like, did you mean when you were a kid or as an adult?
Yes.
As a kid, I feel it's like every fucking movie scared me.
Yeah. Anything where I had to go to the bathroom and it was a dark hallway.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, go. You know?
That's what I loved about Freddy Krueger. It's like, I can't go to sleep now.
Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt beginning of every episode when he jumps
Oh.
in. I'd
That
always be
intro,
like,
the song. Yeah.
Thriller. The part where he turns into a werewolf.
I never had that as a kid where I was like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom.
just
and start
Michael
call.
Jackson himself scared me.
No, like I don't know what it was, but seeing Child's Play, that's the only one that got me to be like,
Oh, yeah.
oh crap, dolls. Like didn't like it. Anything else is like, okay, I don't remember having nightmares as kids after watching scary movies or anything. So I was just like, I think there's something wrong with me. But I like
Funny
this.
story. I think as we were leaving the theater for Terrifier 3, I even said to myself, I'm going to have to watch something funny when I get home. Because I can't go to bed right after this, dude.
I went to bed right after. And
I slept like a baby.
No,
could
I
not.
did. I slept like a baby. I remember
I watched like a Joe Rogan. I was like, oh God, bring me back, Joey.
Dude, I even asked, okay, Mel, I asked the kids, are you guys good? And Noemi's like, yeah, it's just fake. It's just fake blood. And I was like, well, because Mel has to watch something funny.
I have to watch something funny. Yeah, dude.
Really?
I was, yeah. Yeah, so my pop, when we would go to the warehouse, shout out to the warehouse, you actually had to rent VHSs before. And he would pick his movie, and then it would be something that we could all watch. But then he'd be like, okay, but you guys have to get something funny. So we watched the scary first, and I think that's just been implanted into my brain.
okay.
Of like, okay, we'll watch Daffy Duck afterwards, and then everything will be cool.
I canceled it out.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Hereditary's one. The Shining, we revisited that one a couple of years ago. And have you seen it recently?
oh, fantastic. I watch it every season.
Okay, and we'll go on to that. What horror movie do you have to revisit every season, every Halloween season?
Okay, so this I think is what started my love for like that cheesy, campy gore. H.P. Lovecraft's Reanimator. It is,
I'm gonna write it down. I haven't seen it.
yeah, it is fantastic.
Although I probably have and I don't remember.
It's this, of course, the mad scientist, and he is doing these experimental. I think it's in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. This experimental formula that brings people back to life. I think somebody beloved of his died, and he wanted to bring it back to life.
As the story goes.
Yeah. And then something goes horribly wrong, and he ends up coming to America and, getting hold of a lab and instilling those same serums. And I mean, there's tits, there's cheesy like puppetry, there's
Everything
gore.
nice.
Yeah. Herbert West, just fantastic. I have to watch it every holiday season.
Right.
And I even forget how I came upon it. But it started. Yeah, it's just a perfect cheesy 80s.
Okay.
Can you put where you can
It
watch
kind of gives me a little bit how you were describing it, like late, like early 1900s. I'm not sure of that one man that his wife died and had to make preserve her into a bride. So like you were describing that, and I'm just like, it's kind of giving that a little bit.
I mean, probably like, loosely based on it, but it's just freaking awesome. I think I started watching it in my 20s, 5 years ago. And every and I'll never find a reason to watch it out of October. And whenever it's just October, that's just definitely on the to-do. Yeah.
It's on the list. I
Yeah.
gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Round table?
Pearl?
What?
Well,
Every season?
Yeah.
I don't know. Recently, it's been the Terrifier. Before that, it used to be Nightmare on Elm Street. But I think now with the kids, they kind of take charge of it. So like I said, Andre's thing is like Halloween. So we watch
Classic.
Halloween.
Yeah.
But before it was Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Eva?
So mine, when I looked it up, just because I needed to make sure, because as I was doing my homework, I asked him about this movie, and he goes, no. But then I looked up the classification of it, like, what is it, like,
Ooh,
classified under?
okay.
And it said comedy horror. And then he goes, I guess that counts if it has horror, and mine would be Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, it's very just I don't know. It's something about like always having my childhood.
Well, Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yeah.
but that's not a
Yeah.
horror thing.
Yeah.
But that's every Halloween we listen to like the soundtrack and then the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
Dude,
something
as a
about that.
kid, that stairway, the rail scene when he turns into a snake,
Oh my god.
that fucked with me every time. Every time as a kid. I was showing it to Jameson and I was like, hang on, Papa, I got you. Like,
Don't worry.
He's like,
See,
what?
yeah. Kind of like
that was one of
you
those dark hallway things where I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Oh, Dark Hallway when Francis's old
Fuck.
place. Dude, why does she have clowns in the restroom? Why was there a photo of like 3 clowns, like the happy, sad, whatever, at the end of the hallway? So my mom would be like, go to the restroom. And then.
Dude, okay. Growing up, the movies that like actually scared me were Nightmare on Elm Street, It,
Yeah.
The Shining, and then like I said before, The Thriller. But It, even though it was like a movie straight to TV, like
This is the Tim Curry one?
yeah,
Okay.
the original It was so creepy because I don't think there was any other movie that had like freaky clowns that were he was funny, but he was so sinister in his kills and really tormented everyone. And then he's tormenting kids, like I was a kid. And so when we would visit that family member, you go through that hallway, I'm like, why does every inch need to be a fucking clown?
No, but okay, but it wasn't just that. It was for some reason, anytime my mom and her cousin were in the same room, they
Oh,
would talk
damn it.
about ghost stories all the time. Just like there's spirits in this house and da da da. And then like we're kids, we have to pee all the time. And my mom would be like, just go. And then there's the hallway. And like by yourself in a hallway.
And it just
after,
like elongates.
after you
as you're
tell me
staring
you
at
just
it.
saw a freaking ghost in the kitchen. Like, dude.
Do you have any super? I don't know. I didn't write this down as far as like a question, but do you have any paranormal stories? Like we have told our share of stuff. We've done stuff together. Me
Ooh,
and me
last
not
Halloween.
included. Yeah, a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And so now I'm kind of like a believer. But do you have any paranormal stories that you're willing to share? And
I mean, just your classic, bending down to brush your teeth and you're positive something is behind you.
yeah,
And like,
sorry about that.
I was going to say it was me.
That's where I was.
yeah,
Okay.
like it's just dead
Lot of
ass.
drinks.
I know for sure when I look up in the mirror, there's going to be someone behind me.
So just the
that
feeling,
the
the
feeling.
feeling.
So,
Yeah.
certain things. I mean, dude, the littlest thing. Jameson, he's taking a shit the other day. I got to help him because he's 4. He's 4. And the toilet paper, a gust of
10
wind
yeah, like 50 outside.
blew into the bathroom, and the toilet paper started slowly unraveling itself. Just that was like, and Jameson was like, "Mommy, the toilet paper." I was like,
You're
"Get the fuck out of
I'm
here."
the mom. It's like, hey, no, it's just a
Cut
little
the shit,
wind.
babe. Pinch it. Let's go.
So you're very susceptible to like supernatural stuff.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get.
I've never
bothered.
felt that. This is gonna sound weird. So I've never felt that with my white side of my family, my in-laws. But with my household, the Hispanic family, there's
1000%.
always like, always that.
1000%.
Like if there's creaking wood at the house I live in now with my
Someone's like,
in-laws,
dude.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, dude, everything's good. But if something's fucking slightly off at my mom's, I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, all right, we're good. As long as you don't believe in it, it can't hurt you.
Evo, do you want to share any paranormal experiences?
Where do I start? Childhood.
One story. We have time for a story.
I don't know. I think the quickest one would be I would have to be maybe preschool, maybe before preschool around there. And we still live in these apartments in Uptown Whittier. And
Stay less. Uptown.
I know, it's a fucking ghost town.
so we live on the second floor.
It's racist, by the way.
And nobody was walking out. My mom was in the shower because I remember she's like, I'm going to put on a movie. I'm going to go get ready for the day. And then I go to the kitchen because I knew that I can go to the kitchen and get drinks because she had everything ready for me. And I stopped dead and there's like a little,
Oh,
I don't know what to call it. It's
you described it to me as a gnome.
like
No,
a gnome.
a
Yeah,
gremlin.
like a gnome. Yeah. And, yeah. And all I remember is just screaming. But it wasn't like a friendly, like you see them like the painted ones or anything. Like you just see it like nasty, just textured skin and everything. I remember I screamed and I booked it to the bathroom. My mom was coming out like, what's going on? Thinking that I hurt myself. And then she went to go check and there's nothing there.
Oh, so this wasn't even something that was in the
Broad
apartment.
daylight, early morning.
Oh,
it was like maybe 10 a.m. because I remember there was still like a lot of talk shows on the TV. So that's why she put the VHS
Daytime
on.
talk, yeah.
So I was like, okay, she's getting ready for the day. Let's go.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, that's the only thing that like it's like a short and sweet thing that I will always say.
Did she believe you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she did a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay. So
Into
after
the
that, she's,
brujeria stuff.
yeah, she was just like, where we're going. Like she forgot about getting ready and we were like, let's go.
Yeah, there's so much more like backstory involved with her mom that I found so fascinating. We'll have to cover something else, but even still, like you tell me about like our apartment that we've been living in for 5 years, where like if one of our cats is looking at something in the wall,
Oh God, yeah.
and then she'll feel something. She'll feel something way better than I can. I started to feel something after like last year and the year before. I started to become a little more open to it.
Yeah.
But even she'll be like, yeah, I'll tell the thing, no, thank you, go away, you're not welcome, as like a reflex.
And then like my
Safely.
dad, he's staying with us right now, and he goes, the first couple weeks he's like, I either feel something in this corner over here, and I'm like, he's all doing his little crossing and a little prayer, and he goes, yeah, it's just there in the dining room, like at night, and I'm just like, oh great, now I don't want to go there at night to get water.
And it's just me naked. Is that why he gifted us a Virgin Mary?
That's his Virgin Mary.
Or-
He didn't gift it to us. He brought
He's
it.
like,
he brought it
"Fuck y'all,
over.
covering my ass."
He's like making sure it's mine.
Pearl?
Oh, there's a lot. It was like when we used to live at the apartment in Whittier. Whittier has a lot of ghosts.
Whittier?
No, but recently, last year, I was walking out of the restroom and I always double check the doors, right? As I do at night. And then I was double check the door, walking past the couch, and I saw which I think was grandma, but like a little old lady on the couch, like kind of just like stare at me. And then go back, and I remember walking in the room and looking out, and Greg's like, what is it? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I saw a woman sitting there. But then that whole, like, few months around that, I would hear my name being called. I would tell if
Sorry about
Susie's
that.
watching. No, but I would call
Everywhere.
Susie. I would call Susie and be like, hey, all the kids are at school, Greg's at work. And I heard someone say mom, and I heard someone say Pearl. And then, like, my light switch, like, I'd be in the restroom and it would, like, shut off, or, like, little things that would happen. But that one where I saw, like, an old lady on the couch, I for sure know that I saw an old lady
I forgot that you told me about that. Yeah.
who
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure was grandma, because the headrest was, like, right, grandma was
Yeah.
short. Yeah. So that freaked me out really bad.
And I want to get this one out of you too, because I used to not be a believer in supernatural, and I would hear family stories, I would hear her stories, and short of being like, okay, but I'm pretty sure that the light casting up the
there's
thing,
always an explanation.
always
Yeah.
something, because I'm very skeptical, right? Very, very skeptical. And so, like, it wasn't until I started fucking with the Ouija board, and thankfully she was there to help me and make sure there wasn't really fucking bringing in anything.
Opening the gate.
Yeah, and I'll tell my story in a second, but like then I started to be a little bit more open minded. But one of the things that kind of pushed me towards that direction of like maybe there are some things that can't be explained. My friend Seaham had a spectral issue or whatever, and I was like, I'm going to debunk it. I'm going to go over with the full expectation of debunking it. Couldn't debunk it. I go, well, maybe there's some, and she had more things happen. I go, maybe there's just some more to this stuff. And you would tell your stories, and you would tell yours.
Every once in a while, I'll see him would like update us with like her
Yeah.
little ghost.
Ghosts like never
hearing
again.
that.
But the one that really stands out is the fact that you, your daughter,
Oh, fuck.
and
Uncle David's?
no, not all David's. No, that's a whole separate one.
different thing. Oh
I
my
was
god.
like, don't
Yeah.
talk about it. That
No,
makes me
we
feel
don't talk about
gross.
all that.
At Annie's house.
Oh my gosh, freaking Annie's house. Annie, okay, his name is George, and she said that she brought George from Texas, right? This ghost or whatever has followed her. So whenever things happen in the house, it's just George playing a trick. And I remember first meeting the family. Faith was little. I used to live there for a bit, and it'd be like, oh, that's just George, and I thought it was just like a funny thing.
Yeah.
And so I used to like sleep in the living room, but one night like the TV would turn on. Right? Or I would wake up to get a glass of water and all the cabinets in the kitchen are like wide open. So I tell Annie, oh, it's just George. Right? And then I was talking to someone on the phone. I was coming out of the restroom, and her hallway is like the type where you're at the end of the hallway, you turn on the light, You walk all the way down, you shut off at the end, right? Okay. So I'm coming out of the restroom, the hallway is pitch black, and I'm on the phone, and I thought I saw Josh, which is her uncle, walking towards me, and I kind of said like, oh, hey, and I turned because Josh didn't respond, and I'm staring, and this figure it's not Josh, just a figure, just like disappears. No. And then I'm like, I gotta go. And like I ran outside, and then I remember telling Annie, like, I'm pretty sure I just saw something. And again, it was just George, right? And then
Mr. George.
Then I had seen a little kid running, like she has a glass door, a little kid ran, and I went inside like, hey Annie, why is Faith awake? And she's like, what are you talking about? Faith is asleep in the room. Saw that kid, and then the worst one was we were playing like Mario Kart or something in the room, and I went to go grab a blanket from the living room, and I thought it was stuck on the couch, like in the cushions, and I'm like pulling it, and I look, and I'm in the middle of the living room. There's no couches around me, and the corner of the blanket is like midair, and like it's tugging, and I'm like, and I just like run. I'm like, okay, so, Annie,
I've had enough of your shit, George.
yeah,
Love it here, but bye.
Did you have something to tell?
Seaham. Going back to Seaham, that one video she sent us where her bedroom door just goes, and she's in the living room. So, like, I'm just like, she lives alone. She doesn't have any pets. I think at this time she only had a hamster. So that's like
the hamster could push the door though
in a cage. Yeah, and how her setup is, it's very like this, and the bedroom doors over here, and just goes, and I'm just like, okay. That's nice. I'll be there for Halloween.
It's an attraction.
So my quick story is 2018. I was like, you know what? I bought the Ouija board even though it was a Stranger Things themed Ouija
Still
board.
works.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? We're going to fuck with it. It's on Halloween where the veil is the thinnest and all that stuff in between. I was like, I'm going to set the fucking tone. I'm going to set the mood. I think I was dressed up as a nun. Right? Valak the nun.
Yeah, I think so. That's when Mike was over.
Yeah, so it was me, Mike, our old friend Victoria. Marilyn's like, I want to be involved. I'm like, sure. Alva's like, I want to be involved in this, but I'm going to make sure you guys close the door. So I have some tea lights set up, right? And then I have some Gregorian chants playing. Just to really like set the tone. And so... You know, we did the like, is anybody here? And like the yes, whatever, and all that other stuff in between. And I think once one of us, if not me, asked the question of, are you here for, are you good or bad or something like that? A tea light. I've used a bunch of tea lights before. Never had this issue before. Never had that issue since. It just went. As soon as I asked that question, it went.
Like, hi.
Yeah. And Alva's like, fuck. You fucked up. And she's like, close it out. I was like, okay, well, goodbye. And then it went.
Oh, geez.
After me saying, don't buy this board, don't buy this board. Why
Yeah.
are you buying this board?
But it was
How
Stranger
dare you?
We did fuck with it again last year. And then I didn't.
Same thing. I was just there mediating. Like, all
But
right.
I couldn't believe jack shit because everyone's dramatic as hell.
Yeah.
You have freaking Lila and Faith are like, woo, right? And Susie's like, I feel it, right? And then fucking Robert's like saying he's falling over and bullshitting. Like, I don't know.
So I laid down on your bed, and I was just like, "There's something on Greg's side."
That was the thing. Is like I did it.
Evil.
I did one round with you guys, and then I let the kids do like another 2 or 3 rounds.
Just a few rounds.
And I gotta get it warmed up. And then as those other times are going on, I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. I feel something in the far back corner
In my room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once everything was said and done,
My stomach hurts.
Robert looks at me. He goes, "Where'd you feel it?" I go, "Back corner," because I didn't motion or nothing. And then
Yeah.
Alva goes, "Yeah, also that corner." I was like, "Well,
I was like,
confirms it, you
I'm
know?"
laying on her bed because I'm just like, I'm just tired. We've just been done walking, so I'm like, I'm laying on her bed. We're doing all this, and I'm like, it's here, and I don't. I did not want to look to my right.
Yeah.
What the
To the
fuck?
back.
Why are you saying this right now? I have to go home later.
I thought you
That
knew.
movie when I get home.
Yeah,
Thanks a
and
lot,
I'm
guys.
I did not want to look that way, and I swear I got up and I walked, and then it didn't help that the light kept flickering off with the no one.
Oh,
even-
yeah,
Yeah.
that freaked me out for sure. That wasn't.
Not just once, but twice. Why does it happen
And then
twice?
who was messing with
This
the
is
banging
voice
on the freaking walls or
Will.
whatever?
Will and
Fucking
Greg
Will.
outside.
Greg, are you still on here? Because if you are, can you go buy some sage and just like burn it in the room right now, please? What if we don't have sage? What can we burn? Anything?
You could sacrifice one of your kids.
Okay, so
I'll tell you which one off air.
I had to pull some of the paranormal stories out of you guys, but we'll bring the levity back. We'll bring some fun.
I know. I feel this weirdly. Okay. Stop! You just take a shit? Is that the face you made? You just dropped it?
Did you poop? So we talked Terrifier, we talked horror, we talked supernatural stuff. This episode's going on longer than I expected it to, but I'm having a fuck ton of fun. Sorry, you had to go back to your kids late.
No, it's fine.
Alva, let's do like
All the work will be done.
Yeah. Let's go like 2 rounds of some trivia. Alva's asking the question. Go. We'll start with our guest, Mel.
Mel.
Yes.
In Get Out, what was the name of Chris's girlfriend?
Oh, dude, I'm so bad at this.
Yeah.
Just pick a name.
I'll give you a hint.
Rose.
Yeah.
I'm all tulip? No,
Shilda? Her name was Shilda?
I was going to say vibrator, but I'm so off.
All right, Pearl.
I don't know.
What is the name of the What is the name of the demonic nun in the Conjuring series?
Oh, shoot. I really don't know it. I don't.
Think old names,
Yeah.
like turn of the century names.
If you know, by the way, if you know it, jump in to steal it.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Mel.
Isn't it?
Well, if you didn't fucking know it.
No, I know. Now I got spotlight scare. It's
Did you say it earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Something with a V.
Yep.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Valak.
Valak.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? You said think whatever.
It
You
was-
didn't even know it.
I know because I was like, wait, do I know it now?
It was
But
very
if you sound
popular in the
confident.
1700s.
Yeah.
Valak. You should name
Good
your
old
next.
Valak.
Oh, never
Me
mind.
next.
You're more kids.
Okay.
You want to carry it? Sure.
No, thank you. I'm good. Fall down some
Hit me.
stairs.
Hold on, I'm trying to get the screen away from me.
God.
Do it.
He said to hit him.
I'm not looking. I'm not
Across the
fucking
face.
cheater.
Lick your palm and smack the shit out of him.
Hit him.
Oh.
Who directed the 2004 film Saw?
Oh, the same guy that did the fucking Insidious movie, James Wan.
Yep.
Yes.
What?
Oh, that was close.
It's like a different language. No.
Do you know James Wan?
No, yeah.
We have to do more of those.
All right.
All right,
Did
go
you
back
say
around.
Juan or one?
Juan.
Like Juan?
What kind of doll is Chucky in Child's Play?
Oh, he's a good guy.
Is he though?
He's a creepy
Been
doll.
plenty thrown,
That's
let me
what
tell
he
you.
is.
All right. Here we go.
Heidi ho.
What is the name of the demon in The Exorcist? Bro.
Still it, Mel.
I'm giving you these.
No,
Still
dude.
it. Come on, you're wearing the fucking contacts.
I don't know.
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
Yeah.
Face.
Yeah.
Hit me with one.
Smack him.
Do I win anything after this?
No.
A big old hug from Mel.
Yes.
Snuggles.
I'm trying
I
to
didn't
find
plug
you
in
one.
theme music. Sorry.
Who is the primary antagonist in Hellraiser?
Pinhead. Come on.
By the way, one of my favorite kills, that one on the bed when they lure homeboy back.
I think I've only seen that once, freaking years ago.
I haven't seen the
that I
original
was, like,
Hellraiser.
super, like-
Yeah.
I saw the reboot.
You haven't seen that?
I know. Self plug. I seen the reboot, which was actually pretty good
Okay.
as far as reboots go. And seen the OG.
Oh, okay.
So, my bad.
On the list.
That's why we do
H.P.
this.
Lovecraft.
When you update the list, when you send it to me, does it update my list?
Yeah, we unintentionally shared it with you.
There's a lot on
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's a growing list of films.
When you said check it out, I was not expecting a freaking CVS receipt.
One more round?
Pro needs a question.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this one's easy.
Yeah.
I promised. In the Poltergeist, what is the name of the little girl who gets taken?
Oh, Carol Ann.
There you go.
There you go.
Only because we used to always say Faith Ann.
Oh. All right. Well, we ended it with some fun because we always do that. We always have like a really excited episode and stuff like that. We take you through all the thrills and chills and need to
After
make sure
freaking
that
me out in
everyone
my
is
room.
okay so that they don't have to go home and watch, comedy movies to make you feel better. So, we emotionally touched in all the right and wrong places.
Aftercare.
So everybody ready to wrap up the episode? Everybody wrap it up?
Yep. Wrap it up.
As I thought I had it.
What the? Brum, 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 brum.
Alrighty, well, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for the live TikTokers for joining us. Another fucking Halloween episode in the bag. Once again, we were joined by Mal. Thank you for being the first time here. Joined again by Pearl. Thank you for being the second time here.
Well, first time on a live. So.
Yeah. And everyone can join us and tell us what horror films you're excited to go see. Tell us some of your favorite horror films, and ultimately let us know what movies are on your growing list of films. It has people asking us the question,
You haven't seen that?
Later, folks.
Bye.